Welcome back to OG Blade Reviews. I am OG Blade, and this is a review. What do we got on the table? Heretic knives. Make some interesting knives, and Heretic Knives is run by Tony Marfione Jr. I believe he's a Tony, and he's a junior to Tony Marfione of Microtech Knives. Just a little bit well known. This is something I picked up from Southern Edges, I believe is their name. You have to be careful because there's a Southern Edge that went out of business, but these guys are definitely in business, and they do quite a business in auto knives as well as many, many others. High-end stuff, lots of it. Let's take a look in the box, and it's an interesting box in that they put the knife in a middle well here, and there's the plastic it came in. I'll take it out in a minute. Don't get too frustrated now. There's Heretic's knives, Heretic's information. They're in Florida. Oh, right about now, Florida's going to get hit by a major hurricane. I really hope they do okay. There's your QR codes. And here we go. In the middle is the NAF. And what do we have here? Well, according to the box, it is the mini Pariah. The larger Pariah was a manual, is a manual one, I believe. I don't think that is an auto. I could be wrong. If you know Heretic knives, let me know if you need to correct me on that. This was pretty good, coming in at about 190 bucks. It's all FRN, okay? It's all a reinforced plastic, very rigid stuff. I would say at least the equivalent to G10. I have a resin-handled MSI from Microtech here that has held up amazingly well, although I think that, no, it's like, got all that bridge work in there. It's all plastic and handles except for the same as this, where the hardware is supported. They put steel in there. It is a side opening automatic. It is fast and snappy. It is a Harpoon Tanto, we'll call that, with a stonewash finish, and it is in Magnacut. Everything's got to be a Magnacut now, right? I'm not unhappy about that, not in the least. And I hear they're doing it well. Don't quote me, but 62 to 64 or better. Let's hope. I didn't see that detailed on the website, but maybe out on Heretic's website. Got an interesting pivot here that they seem to use on some of their knives. I'll show you another one in a minute. The Wraith. Yeah, this is, let me shine a light in here for you. Yeah, that's all the same kind of reinforced bridge work, whatever you want to call it. Kind of a waffle pattern in there that gives support and reduces flexion. Looks like what we've got here, I definitely see a nylon bushing. And I'm going to say it's riding on bushings as opposed to riding on bearings. When you have a spring throwing it out there, very often you don't need the bearings. So we're going to call this bushings. Got a hell of a spring. I mean, watch this. See my hand tremble? Well, they tremble anyway, but not really. But look at that vibration, geez. And a really nice jimping on the top here, very effective. And yet, because of the Harpoon, you can lay your thumb all the way out. I like that. What's been called the Filipino grip, meaningless to those that haven't practiced Filipino martial arts, but basically it means getting your thumb out there to guide the blade, you know. because you're going to kind of go in the direction of where the thumb is pointing for these different moves that we use. Lightweight knife. Let's grab some measurements quick and get those out of the way. We've got 8 1/4, not quite overall. Got a blade length. If you go to the edge, you're almost getting 3.5. It's really 3.4. And you get even a little bit less if you come back here to the handle. Major large choil area here, which you could definitely call a sharpening choil because that edge comes all the way back there. And other measurements, some of the girth here. Millimeters, pretty heavy blade stock. I'm going to call it 4 millimeters. I think I popped up on 4 millimeters here. Yeah, call that 4. In inches, 0.15. Handle in inches. It tapers. How about that? Up front, it's 0.57. Back on the end here, it's only 0.44. So what do we want to do? Grab it in the middle and give you an average? 1/2 inch. That was easy. Put her on the scale and see what we got. It's pretty lightweight for the size. Yeah, I mean, it's we're right in there. We're right in there, folks, at 1 ounce per inch. How about that? 3.45, 3.45. I think that that's a light knife. That's a light auto with plenty of snap, as I said. Now, the knife I was going to compare it to is the Wraith. It's a pricey knife. They're getting about $500 for these now, I think. And I have to thank North Code on Instagram and YouTube. That's Ryan. Won't give out any more information than that, but North Code gifted me this knife. What a dude he is. A lot of appreciation for my videos and stuff I'm doing with the Knife Junkie and so forth. But that is the Wraith. That is the Wraith from Heretic. I was thinking the name of the company was Wraith. No, model is Wraith. And here is another called the Manticore. Can't even get it with the right thumb. Strong spring on this. Way different than the out the fronts that we're seeing recently from Microtech. Some of those Gen 3s are beautifully smooth and light. But that is the Manticore X. This was a trade-off that I did with Bob DeMarco for a Microtech knife. So that's a big one. That one coming in there at 3 3/4 out the front on this guy. Aluminum handle. Obviously recurved blade. Black with satin on the sides. Nice knife. Lots of power. Now, this Wraith, I believe they've improved the spring action on. I haven't opened it up. On a lot of these, you can change the position of the anchor for the spring, and you can increase or decrease the strength. This one, as far as out the sides go, is not that strong. A little, I mean, when the blade hits, because it's a thick blade, you get a little vibration there, but it's a little slower coming out than on the Pariah Mini here. So there's the Pariah Mini, and there's the Wraith. Don't hear the same snap, and it just doesn't have that energy. But if the idea is to open the knife quickly, it's still opening quickly. When it's locked out, it is solid. Same thing here. Very, very solid. Nice stonewash finish. Does pick up some oil from your hands. And talking about the rest of this folder, we have a clip That's okay. I mean, it's almost fashioned after the classic Microtech clip with that double anchor there. So you've got a spot for thicker clothing here and for thinner here, or really a two-stage clip if you want to look at it that way. Here is my little sample belt here, which we'll use since I don't have any jeans or anything to show you. So that's how much is going to be sticking out above your pocket line, your pants line, waistline, whatever. But the knife can be held down here too, because we're making contact right there. That's how the two-stage clip works. You could even get it down as far as like here, because it's a pretty tight clip. So that gives you more to grab onto. Not going to grip as tight as a rubber belt, but when that's in the pocket, you can have a couple different levels. That's really what's going on with this particular double wave clip. Got these ventilation holes in the back here, almost making it look like a integral knife, like some of the Reichs and whatnot. And we've got some good jimping here and up front here. And again, plenty of snap. For compare, for another out the side, here is the SOCOM Elite. That's a heavily modified one that I ended up getting from BJ Hill. I haven't heard from BJ. If you know BJ and he's working on another channel or something, let me know. But that came out of his custom shop. That's a highly modified SOCOM Elite by Microtech. Completely stripped aluminum body, cocobolo in here, and even inlay cocobolo there, where there used to be, I think, some of the grip tape stuff, some of the wing walk stuff, and even did it on this side. And there is the deep carry clip that I showed you. Here, very same clip, very same, except on all the SOCOM Elites, it is mounted on the pivot side. But you can see these clips are very close to each other, just a little shorter on the Pariah. Up against the MSI. MSI is going to be a bigger knife for sure. Much bigger, like 1.5 inches at least, something like that, with a blade about 3/4 inch or so longer. So we're sort of between the 3 1/4 and 3 1/2 size here. Call it a 3 1/2 if you'd like. I think that's what I got out of the cutting edge was 3.4, so we'll call that 3 1/2. Very decent, strong, and light auto knife. You may not be able to carry an auto or maybe even possess an auto where you live, but I am able to possess them but not carry them out on the street. I do collect them. I do use them around the house and the yard. Very handy if you want to get at it quick and you don't want to do any manipulations with your hand. You know, auto knives, a lot of them came into play for paratroopers and so forth, the gravity knives of World War II and maybe even World War I, I'm not sure. But beautiful, beautiful blade. Good stock, good thickness out to the point, not going to be frail. And when you get that diamond shape going there with that Tanto, you've got a lot of penetrating power. And oh yes, well, is it sharp? Let's see. Not bad. Not quite as sharp as a few others I've had recently from, you know, some manual knives, but decent. You might want to strop it up a little bit, but it's got a little bit of bite to it. I would say it's good. I mean, cutting paper certainly isn't the penultimate test of knife edges by any means, nor is shaving hair, but there are different kinds of sharpness. I prefer micro teeth, like a bitey edge, just because when you draw the knife, it cuts. And that's primarily what it's supposed to do. Will that also poke? Oh, yes, it will. Definitely. And no accidental closure on this. This button is really recessed down there. And yet, really not a whole lot of trouble closing it. You got to get the tip of your finger in there a little bit, but no real problem. But it's got plenty of spring. It really, really does. Can't look underneath there, but there are metal supports embedded into the fiberglass here, into the FRN. And I suspect this is going to be strong. Maybe not a Pariah, okay? But you don't really want to pry with too many folding knives. There might be one or two out there that'll stand up to it. I know, cold steel. But everything fails, you know, and don't use a knife for another type of tool like a chisel or a screwdriver that it really isn't, unless you're in dire straits. Oh, well, OG Blade Reviews here. And if you look right now at the video, you'll see my emblem here. Click on that if you haven't subscribed. It'll make it easy for you to subscribe to the channel and get notified every time new videos drop. I will be back with you soon with another review. Be well, take care, stay safe.